I'm going to show you now how to create a cross gable roof. Of course, if you don't know how to do a gable roof, you should go back and watch that video and master that technique, because this is just the same technique used twice, but in different directions. Let's get started. You'll remember when we originally drew the gable roof, we did X and then we did half a plus. What that allowed us to do was to find the centers of the left and right ends. Now we need to draw one more orthogonal line to complete the plus. Now the next thing that becomes really important is the very center. You can see that I indicated it there with a red dot. Now, when we take that center line, and that center point rather, and we go vertically straight up until we find a point on that crest of that roof, that is where we're going to start the crest of our second roof that's going to cross our first roof. So now we need to draw an orthogonal line. This one was going to the left vanishing point. Now we need one, I'm sorry, that's the right vanishing point. Now we need one going over here to the left vanishing point. So let's do that now. Now you can see that I've drawn an orthogonal line. Of course, that orthogonal line, once again, is going to that vanishing point over on the left. And that is the crest of my crossing gable. So at this point, I'm going to draw a vertical line up from the center of my roof here and the center of my roof here. You notice that the center of the roof is indicated here with that orange line. It's very important that you know where that point is so that you can have the proper center. So as not to confuse you, I've now drawn the two vertical lines up from the centers of the left and right side of the roof until I hit that orthogonal line. At this point, I'm free to get rid of any overage. Now that's going to be a little bit difficult here, so I'll assume that you know that this blue line that I'm putting in now is the new ridge of the cross gable area. And now I'm going to finish up the diagonals that will complete this side. So I'm drawing down just as I did with the gables. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on this side, which was fill this in so that you can see this area is a triangle. All right, and now the back, of course, we would have a couple of lines as well. We would have this going down to the left corner. And of course, now this line, once it went in here, would not be visible, so I'm turning that red. Over here, you would draw down to this corner, so we can see that actually there's no way that you would be able to see any part of the back of that roof, so I'm going to draw that in red just so that you can see where it would be. Maybe I'll complete this a little bit for you too, so you can see that that's coming down to that corner right there. And now the final part that we have to worry about here is making this a dark line here so that you can see the crest of the roof. I'm making this really dark so that you can see it well. And then finally, we need one last line, and that would be a line going from the very middle to the corner. All right, and you'll see why this is so important in just a second. Now, of course, you wouldn't have double lines. You would have very thin lines, but I'm making this so that you can see it amongst all the other lines on your screen. All right. Now, if you had a lightning rod or something on top of your house, of course, it would follow that orange line up on top there. So now, if you take a look, I'm going to make this right over here look as though it is shingles. Hopefully now you can see that this roof area does actually look as though it's at a different angle from the other. Of course, back here, this would be different roof area in back. So let's make sure that you understand. I'm going to turn this blue actually so you can see it. This is associated with this right here. So this blue side here connects up with this side here. And then, of course, this area here would be visually connected with this side. Let me try using a little bit of green on this side so that you can see it. All right, so if you take a look at it, we've got the first gable, which is green. We've got the second gable that's crossing the first, which is blue. And you can see that from here, if you wanted to, you could simply draw down and you would have what would look like a house with a double gable. So what we have here is, once again, a cross gable in two-point perspective. It's not really hard to do. Give it a shot. And remember, you can do double hip roofs or hipped roofs as well. Have fun. Bye-bye.